If you watch the TV show Merlin on Netflix, you will find that the king, who strangely enough is played by the same actor, Anthony Head, who played Giles on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which was a lot of magic. So the king is kind of in a pickle on Merlin. I'm going to give you some spoilers, but don't worry, it's nothing too big. But the king doesn't want magic used because he's seen magic used for evil. And there's times when the king has said privately, use magic. So, what does it mean? It simply means the king has not figured out that magic is a tool that can be used for good or evil. And simply banning something and putting people to death for magic that you yourself privately are okaying is a sign of hypocrisy. And the king is really in a muddle because of just the history of the whole magic and good and evil. Rumpelstiltskin once said the best thing that could happen is for everyone to become non-magical creatures. But I don't think he really understands how good non-magical humans are doing things by systems that you could maybe do by magic. And the systems are so good on planet Earth that even when we don't use magical means, there's plenty of ways of locking people up. So, getting rid of magic is just like getting rid of a long pipe that you're using for leverage. It's not the solution. Someone says a consciousness or intelligence is a solution. I don't think that the king in Merlin, maybe some more wisdom, he is between a rock and a hard place because the magic that is being used, people come to his kingdom, his castle, and they do horrible, horrible things. So he knows that magic is especially dangerous because it's so effective at upsetting apple carts. We have a little tiny terrier who's barking, and a great big black Newfie pup that's like way, way bigger than the terrier. But the terrier was barking and being authority, and the little pup that was like a great big black dog, he got down and he was playing, okay, you can be my master. You can be the alpha dog. So, what does it tell you? Well, I don't know. Napoleon comes to mind. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and share. Okay, next topic. What did you consent to before you incarnated as a human? Literature seems to say that it really depends upon your consciousness. If you have a low calibrated level of consciousness on the scale of human consciousness, you don't even get a say as to what you're going to incarnate, whether it's going to be a crow or a human or a puppy or a tree. You don't have enough consciousness, so you don't get a say. Once you gain more consciousness on the scale of human consciousness, I think you'll have better ways of navigating between lives in what the Tibetans call the Bardo states. Some other authors have talked about these afterlife worlds. And we can say that some think that whatever you're living like now in this life is what you're going to end up living like in the afterlife. And somehow it will be projected holographically in the world that you go to. And it will seem real to you. And you may even find that people that you know in this life, that you drink beer with or whatever, appear in your afterlife world. Is it them? It could very well be the actual ones. The actual, let's call you, I like to call you a personality. It's a lot more modern than calling you a spirit. But personality doesn't give you those ideas that spirit gives you. And spirit gives you the idea that you're more than just your personality, the way you talk and appear to others. Spirit implies that there's more to you, and it's a great mystery of what that is, but it's more than personality. Someone says it could be gifts. Gifts from whom? The only thing that some modified masters say is that whatever your calibrated level of consciousness as a human is in this lifetime, you'll get to keep it for another human lifetime. But in that next human lifetime, are you going to actually have that level of consciousness? Or a different level of consciousness, and just the ability, if everything karmically shows up for you to achieve that consciousness that you had in the previous lifetime. That seems to be. In other words, you get to keep your Troy higher consciousness, but you may not use it in some future lifetimes. What's the point of that? It seems like it's rigged, folks. The whole idea about climbing up in consciousness is rigged, and we're going to call it Maya, M-A-Y-A, which is what the Sanskrit people from ancient India said our reality. It's not as it seems. And quantum physics, modern science, confirms that it is some weird thing that we live in. Quantum foam sounds scientific, but it doesn't really bring you any further than the word Maya or Maya, which means illusion. Why is it illusion? Well, we've been thinking about the word illusion, and it starts with ill, as in sick, and luge, like lose. You're going to lose in this game. Shun. Well, maybe you should just shun the whole idea of coming to planet Earth and being fucked with by hidden entities. But it still doesn't come to the question of whether you consented to be part of the Earth game, the Earth reality game, or not. And if you have no memory of it, you might as well say, I have no memory of it, so I never signed up for this. And there's lots of people who call themselves spiritual teachers that say, you volunteered for this. Other people say, vibrationally you volunteered for this. What does that mean? Well, they're going to try and equate something that you're doing in this lifetime with the reason why you're here. If you are someone who has a chicken coop and you keep chickens because you want to eat them, then vibrationally you are asking to be captured and eaten by some other being. But it's a trap, because the mind that forms around you is not you. And even if it's associated with you for a long period of time, it's still not you. I keep coming back to what I keep telling everybody, to spend some quiet time alone inside your head, watching all the thoughts arise. Become what we call the silent witness, which is usually like back here behind your eyes when you close your eyes. And when you watch as a silent witness all of this stuff going on in mind and in body, you will come So I'm going to tell you what I heard and can confirm. You're not doing anything. All of the impulses that you think are you, impulsing your arm to pick up your smartphone, you're not doing it. It's part of the Maya, part of the illusion. It's very good at giving you repeated signals that your intention is picking up the smartphone and turning it on. But you're not doing it. And if you spend a lot of time as a silent witness not doing it, when you feel an impulse that you should go and scratch your balls, don't do it. And watch that impulse come again. And you'll say, this is not me. Or maybe first you'll say well, the itch came and I wasn't in control of the itch, but I felt the itch and I went and scratched it. But actively don't do that. Actively don't initiate. So does it mean that you have an initiation capability that we're disabling? It's very tricky. It's very tricky because you don't remember when you first learned to move your arm consciously when you were an infant. You don't remember it. I don't remember it. So it is, someone says, I don't like the word muscle memory because it's not being stored in your muscles. But it is somewhere, and someone said, this is a good answer, motor cortex, cerebellum, this thing, and you can't remember what happened when you were an infant when you learned this. So did you learn this, or was it just simply something that just was going on, and, later when you were able to talk about it, the way that English, you have to speak proper English so people understand you, I moved my arm is what you're told to say. But you aren't doing all this. It's all the Maya. Well, that's fine and dandy, but, when shitty things happen to my personality and me and my... it's still shitty, and, this is true. Who is actually running the shit show? It's not really known. Is it a little bit known? Well, when you follow the stories of, it's gods, Gods, like in ancient Sanskrit, they had divas and gods and demons and things. So they were like superhuman. And this is like the Greek gods. The Greek gods were human personalities with superpowers. In search of anything else to tell all of you, I guess we'll just give you a brief summary of what we are trying to put across to all of you. That is that you, as a silent witness, a spot of awareness, you are aware of things and you're not doing awareness. You're not turning on awareness and turning it off. You might say, I heard something over there and I moved my head. You're not doing the awareness. Well, sometimes I feel like I wake up and I was in deep sleep and I wasn't aware. And then I woke up and then I was aware. I was just aware. I didn't flip a switch to make myself aware when I woke up out of deep sleep. When I don't remember anything, it seemed like there was nothing going on. So this is the whole point of it all. This is the nature of Maya, the illusion of the reality that we live in. And, what about... We don't really understand. But the stories that we're told that the gods are doing it are fallacious. Because the gods are going to be just like you, except they have superpowers. And it's going to seem like, they're doing magic or whatever else to do what they're doing. But they are just... not doing it. It's being done and they're appearing. But when we get really smart, we're not going to attribute anything to being caused by these people. Something behind the people is doing it. Then someone wants to say, well, is this the creator? that's doing it behind the scenes of all of us. Well, if it's true, then how come the Creator is mean to some of its subjects? Why would the Creator be meaner than mothers are to their babies? It's a father God, and men are mean. No, the Gnostics said, when they looked at this stuff, they said that we are in a lot of trouble because I've gone over 15 minutes and I cannot post on YouTube because I've got one strike against me for a video that I posted, and they consider it to be against their policies. A computer listened to it, I think, because any human would listen to it and realize that I didn't break any rules. Anyways, so I can't post this one on Instagram, so it's going to have to wait until Sunday, when maybe I'm allowed to post again. Long videos on YouTube. Oh, I can put this on DTube. DTube, I've got a channel that I have a hard time posting to because it's very primitive, uploading videos. But I'll put it on the DTube channel, and that's where you might be watching this now. So if you're on my YouTube, most of my stuff is on YouTube. And anything under 15 minutes might be on my Instagram. My YouTube is InfiniteBob99, and my Instagram is Burrows Bobby, BURROWSBOBBY. Okay, so we were talking about these ideas that people had about the gods. And even the Tibetans believe that these kind of, I don't know what they really believe, it's just what's reported, but, you know, this idea that there are people who have, for example, telepathy, advanced lamas and stuff. But, no, this is fallacious. This idea that you are sending telepathy to other people, it's just like your awareness, it just comes on when it comes on. You don't control it. And if someone says they feel like they're controlling it, then it's just really good maya. So, somebody wants to say, it gets you all off the... Yes, with the Lords of Karma, if they appear before you and say, you've done all kinds of evil stuff, you can say, well, Bobby Burrows gave a lecture that I listened to that said that none of us are doing anything. It's all being done by the Maya. So, Lords of Karma, you're not going to Lord of Karma me and tell me I've got to reincarnate against my will because of the Maya. And if you don't understand Maya, then you're not qualified to be a Lord of Karma over me, so, you know, take a hike. And grounded in this reality, it doesn't mean that we let criminals run free. Well, if I'm not doing anything, how do I set my intention that criminals don't run free? Well, the way this works in the Maya is... after you've listened to this lecture and you've done your little meditation to confirm that you're awareness, then you'll go back to being sort of this regular person that's acting the way everyone else is in this reality. So, you know, it'll certainly seem like you can set an intention, however you do that, and it will seem to be something that you did, unless the Maya hides it from your mind for a while and you forgot all about it until sometime later you go, son of a bitch, or something. So your reality is still going to act the way that's always acted for you. Or is it? Is it? Well, your mind, your local mind, has listened to this information and is going to combine it with everything else that you've learned, and it's part of the database that your mind is going to be able to draw from. And if your mind is a quick mind, it's going to start to look for tricks to make life easier for you. Why? Because humans are innately lazy and why are we lazy? Mostly because moving this big heavy body around takes a lot of effort. And you know, some of us are like so full of energy. You know, we just want to go and do aerobics all afternoon. But a lot of us don't feel like doing aerobics all afternoon. It's about as much as we can do to, you know, walk to the park and do some videos and then walk home and then go look at the couch and say, geez, I'd like to sleep for a couple hours because I'm exhausted. So the laziness of older people is because we just don't have the energy to move this old body around. And the laziness of young people is, I think it still takes a lot of effort, even if you're a young person, to go run up the stairs to, in the old days, to answer the phone or to go to the bathroom or something, get something out of the fridge. So if you're going to get your little brother to go run up and go and get you some peanut butter sandwiches and some Coke or something, and bring it back to you and put it on the table in front of you while you're watching Netflix, that's what people do. Until the young one wises up and says, hey, enough of this. I got those peanut butter sandwiches last time. You go. And if we don't go, then I'm never getting anything for you again. And I'm going to wait till I'm a bit bigger, and then I'm going to wash your face out with snow. Okay, so long for all of this. Thank you for watching. And please give us your comments if you find that you have comments.